Hi, my name is Lisa, and I'm a children's librarian at the Watauga County Public Library. And today I wanted to do a story time for you about animals that hibernate in the winter. And as you can see, on the day that I'm recording this story time, it is a winter day at my library. So when you think about animals that hibernate in the winter, what's the first animal that comes to mind? If you're like me, first animal that came to my mind was a bear. So I wanted to show you a couple books that I especially like about bears. Now the first two are storybooks that I like. One is called Bear Snores On by Caryn Wilson, and the other one is called Old Bear by Kevin Henkes. And what I love about this particular story is the author's imagination as he thinks about things that the bear might be dreaming about while he is hibernating. And so there's an example of, I don't know if you can see the bear sleeping in a tulip, and that's it's like the bear is very small or the plants grew very large in his dream. But I think you will enjoy that book, and I hope you'll look for it the next time you're at the library. Or you can look online, see if somebody's reading these books online on YouTube. So another thing you can do is come to the library and find informational books about bears. So this one says, do bears sleep all winter? And that's a good question. So I'm going to link to a video underneath this video in the Show More section. It's a quick informational video about hibernation, dormancy, and brumation. And if you watch that video, then you will have a better idea if bears actually hibernate. So I also wanted to tell you that if you live where the Watauga County Library is, you can stop by the library this month, which is January of 2021, and you can pick up a little memory game that we've made of hibernating animals. So we'd like for you to have that if you live nearby. And that's our Make It and Take It craft to go along with this story time. Also, in the Show More section of this video, I've linked to a song about hibernation and to an experiment that you can do that involves some concepts around hibernation. So I hope you'll take a look at those links and learn more about hibernation and hibernating animals. So I wanted to talk to you about other animals that hibernate in the winter. Do you know what this is? Can you see that? Did you know that bats hibernate in the winter? And I'll be linking to the story of Stellaluna, a very special bat. I'll link to that in the Show More section of this video. But I also wanted to show you the books by Brian Lies, the series he does about bats, which are made up stories, Bats at the Library, Bats at the Beach. Those would be fun books to check out at the library the next time you get to visit your local library. And then also you can look for informational books about bats at your library. But again, I'm going to be linking to a lot of these underneath this video so that you can access some of these books online. But today, what I wanted to do with you is a short little poem about some bats that are very colorful. So let's do that next. The way we're going to get started with our song is we are going to put the sun down low because the sun is setting, and we're going to put the moon rising high. Now, the reason we're doing this is because not only do bats hibernate, they also are nocturnal, so they are active when the moon is out at night. So I'm going to sing one line of this song, and then I want you to repeat it after me. So the song goes like this. The sun is setting, the sun is setting, the moon's rising high, the moon's rising high. Now what color is this bat? Is it orange? Now all the orange bats start to fly, start to fly. Let's sing that verse again. The sun is setting, the sun is setting, the moon's rising high, the moon's rising high. Now all the black bats start to fly, start to fly. The sun is setting, the sun is setting, the moon is rising high, the moon is rising high. Now all the red bats start to fly, start to fly. Now, let's take the moon away. The moon has gone and the sky is getting light. Let's see what happens. The moon has gone, the moon has gone, the sky is getting light, the sky is getting light. Now all the orange bats, now all the orange bats say good night, say good night. Did you know bats sleep upside down and wrap their wings around them? Let's do another verse, okay? The moon has gone, the moon has gone, the sky is getting light, the sky is getting light. Now all the black bats, now all the black bats say good night, say good night. All right, think you can do one more verse? Here we go. The moon has gone, the moon has gone, the sky is getting light, the sky is getting light. Now all the red bats, now all the red bats say good night, say good night. So you could cut some little bats out of paper and color them, and you could do this poem and song at your house. From the books that I have on display, can you guess another animal that might hibernate in the winter? Did you guess squirrels? You would be right if you did. This book is Scaredy Squirrel Makes a Friend, and there's a whole series of books about Scaredy Squirrel that you could look for at your library. Squirrels Leap, Squirrels Sleep is a short picture book, but there's a lot of information in the back of that book if you're interested in squirrels. And this is a nonfiction book, Rabbits, Squirrels, and Chipmunks. But I also wanted to show you Merry Christmas Squirrels, and the author Nancy Rose also wrote The Secret Life of Squirrels. And what I love about this book is the author just set up little scenes in her backyard and put food that the squirrels would like in those scenes, and then just took pictures of them, and she did not manipulate any of the pictures with Photoshop. And I just thought that, then she created a fun story to tell based on the photographs she took. So I thought you might want to look for that book at your library as well. But what I want to do with you next is a little finger play that is about squirrels, okay? So I wanted to teach you the sign language for squirrel, and we're going to do it with a poem. So you make two V's, now bend them like so, and tap them together, and now you know the sign for an animal that climbs in the trees and gathers up all of the acorns he sees. So there you go. That is the sign language sign for squirrel. So can you guess another animal that hibernates in the winter based on the books that are on display now? If you said hedgehog, you would be right. So I will link to the titles of these books in the Show More section of the video, but I'm also going to link to 2 videos of crafts that you can do that would be hedgehog crafts. So the first one is how you can make a hedgehog out of Play-Doh. And the second one is how you could make a hedgehog out of paper. So you could probably do this hedgehog with material that you have around your house, but I wanted to let you know that we'll also have these materials on hand here at the library in January of 2021, where you can come by and get the material that you need to make your own little paper hedgehog if you would like. So based on the books that are on display, what's another animal that you might guess would hibernate in the winter? If you said box turtle, you would be right. So we've got 2 informational books about box turtles and a picture book that also includes some great information, and then a fun story of Franklin. But what I thought would be fun to do now is to sing a song together about a turtle. So if you will take your hand, make a fist, and your thumb on your hand is kind of going to be the turtle's head. Then you take your other hand and lay it over your first hand, and that's one of the sign language symbols for turtle. And we're going to sing a song about Tiny Tim the turtle. I had a little turtle, his name was Tiny Tim. I put him in the bathtub to see if he could swim. He drank up all the water, he ate up all the soap. Now he's home, sick in bed with bubbles in his throat. Bubble, 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 pop. Bubble, 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 pop. Do you want to try that again? I had a little turtle, his name was Tiny Tim. I put him in the bathtub to see if he could swim. He drank up all the water, he ate up all the soap. Now he's home, sick in bed with bubbles in his throat. Bubble, 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 pop. Bubble, 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 pop. Well, based on the books on display, can you guess what our final hibernating animal is for this story time? If you said frogs, you would be right. I'm going to link to each of these titles in the Show More section of the video. Red-Eyed Tree Frog is one of my favorite books, and if your library doesn't have it, ask the librarian at your library if they could put a hold on it and bring the book to your library from another library, because libraries love to share their books with each other. This book title is How Do Frogs Swallow with Their Eyes? So I hope you will go to your library and check out an informational book and maybe find out the answer to that question. A final book I wanted to show you that I love is A Frog Thing. And in this book, the frog has a very challenging problem, and the author comes up with a very creative solution to that problem. And I hope it will encourage you, if you read this book, to find creative solutions to things that you might be facing in your life. So the last thing I wanted to do is I wanted to sing a song with you about a frog, since frogs hibernate. I'm also going to add a verse about turtles, since we had learned that turtles also hibernate. So here's how this song goes. I went the little green frog one day. I went the little green frog. I went the little green frog one day, and they all went ah. But we know frogs go sha-na-na-na-na, sha-na-na-na-na, sha-na-na-na-na. We know frogs go sha-na-na-na-na. They don't go ah. Let's try the one about the turtles. You ready? Can you make the sign language for turtle? Slow, slow went the little green turtle one day. Slow, slow went the little green turtle. Slow, slow went the little green turtle one day. And they all went slow, slow, slow. But we know turtles go cowabunga-dood, cowabunga-dood, cowabunga-dood. We know turtles go cowabunga-dood. They don't go slow, slow, slow. All right, well, that's all I have for you today. So in the words of Tigger, ta-ta for now. Be sure to click on the words Show More located underneath this video on YouTube to access links to more fun activities. If you're on a mobile device and you'd like access to those links, just click on the icon indicated here in the green circle.